Good morning, all my dear students. For the today's session, we are going to discuss about next theory, the next theory of a Newton's corpuscle theory. In Newton's corpuscle theory, we already studied that the light considered by the Newton, it was nothing but a particle, right? So, what exactly he considered? What he just named that particle? That name by him or named by the Newton to the particle, that is nothing but a corpuscles, right? Corpuscles. Or in nowadays we used to call it as a photon. But just because of certain failures, or just because of we can say that lack of information about the explanation of the some physical phenomena which are associated with the light, like we can say that which are the phenomena which is not explained by Newton's corpuscle theory, that is nothing but interference, and then diffraction. So these are the major drawback of a Newton's corpuscle theory. So due to these drawbacks, next theory came to explain interference and diffraction. So what exactly the next theory is? So let's discuss about that theory. So the name of that theory is wave theory of light. Name of theory is wave theory of light. So wave theory of light, what exactly wave theory of light propose? What information is given by the wave theory of light? Many of the scientists contributed in this particular theory, but mostly many of the observation is given by the Mr. Huygens, right? Huygens, Huygens. You can pronounce it as a Huygens. The G is silent over there, right? So Huygens, maybe in a 18th or 19th century, in the 18th century, he just proposed that theory. I think exact year is it is not 18th century, it is say 17th century. In the year of 1678, in the year of 1678, right? In the year of 1678, he just proposed this theory. So, what are the assumptions or what are the observations of this particular theory? So, first assumption or the first observation of this particular theory, that he considered that light travels in the form of what kind of wave? In the form of longitudinal wave. Later on, this is discovered that is wrong, because we already knew that light is what kind of wave it is. It is a transverse kind of wave. So that's the reason why the first assumption itself it is wrong. But moreover, he just considered light is nothing but a wave. That is nothing but a success of this particular theory. So means just because of the consideration of the light as a particle, instead of considering light as a particle, he considered a wave. But what kind of wave he considered? Light travels in the form of longitudinal wave. Light travel in the form of a longitudinal wave, and it transmit or it travels with uniform speed. Light travel with uniform speed in a homogeneous medium. Later on, he considered the homogeneous medium is something name it as a luminiferous ether. So what that medium is? What kind of medium it is? Homogeneous medium, right? So this is the first observation. In a first assumption or the first observation by this particular theory, what they considered or what this particular theory proposed or what this particular theory tells us, it tells us that light is nothing but a wave. Okay, that is one important thing over here. But light is a longitudinal wave. But light is not a longitudinal wave. What longitudinal wave? That already explained, but I'll tell you again. Longitudinal wave. So what longitudinal wave means? If say there are certain particles I'm going to consider. Say set of particles. Now there are the three waves I'm going to consider. Wave number 1, wave number 2 and wave number 3. So if these waves are moving from this side to this side, from left hand side to right hand side, these waves are now propagating. What is the direction of this wave? What is the propagation direction of the propagation of wave from left to right? And if this wave is come into the contact with the particle of the medium, here we have a medium. N number of particles are there. Out of n number of particles, I consider first, second, and third one. So in this particular theory or in this particular situation, what exactly we have? Say when this energy come into the contact with the matter, what is going to happen? This particle will start to vibrate. But just because of the longitudinal wave, in what manner that particle will going to vibrate? Like this, this direction, like this direction. So that means what is the direction of vibration over here? So that this direction of vibration is parallel to whom? Parallel to direction of propagation. Means direction of the vibration of the particle due to the longitudinal wave is nothing but a parallel to the direction of propagation. Means in which direction that particular wave is moving, to that direction this propagation. Right? That means we can say that yes, definitely, but in the case of light, it doesn't happen like this, because light is not a longitudinal. Later on, it was discovered by the many scientists, and like the name of the scientist is nothing but a Foucault, I think, right? So, or maybe any other scientist, maybe, right? But that particular assumption was wrong. So, what was wrong over there? That is nothing but to say, when a light is supposed to reach to such a point or such a particles of a medium, what way this particular light is vibrates that particular particle. If this is the direction of propagation, and when energy comes into the contact with the matter, or when energy is absorbed by the particle, it vibrates perpendicular to the direction of propagation. So this vibrates perpendicular, maybe like this, perpendicular maybe like this. So that is the reason why first assumptions went wrong. But the important part or the important thing for this kind of assumption is nothing but they considered light is a wave. So that is very important. While explanation of a interference, phenomena like interference and diffraction. When we consider light as a wave, that time we can easily explain interference means what. Okay, in later lecture we are going to see how wave nature of a light is very important to explain interference of light, right? So this is now first assumption. This is all about first assumption, right? So in a first assumption, they considered that light is nothing but a longitudinal wave. That is wrong, but it is a wave. That is very important. Now second assumption. What exactly we can say that second assumption is explained by this particular theory. Second assumption is nothing but a because in a Newton's corpuscle theory, there were also same assumption. Over here, it is just explained in a second assumption. But in what Newton explained or what Newton consider, different color is due to different size of corpuscle. Different size of corpuscles, right? So is it right? No, it is wrong. Now how we can say that, how it would be wrong? Because we knew that different color is due to different wavelength or frequency of light. Different wavelength or frequency of light. So that's the reason why this assumption was failed in the theory of a Newton's corpuscle theory. So that's the reason why this was a failure. Just because of this failure, second assumption is given in a wave theory of light. So what it exactly tells you? Different color is due to different wavelength or frequency. Moreover, wavelength we can call it as. Right? So we knew that in a white light, what kind of colors are there, or which are the colors present in a white light? In a white light, there are 7 different colors that those are present in the rainbow, right? Which are those colors? That is VIB, GY, OR. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, right? So these are the 7 different colors, because this color only we can able to see, we can able to sense whatever around us. right? When such a light rays or such a we can say that waves which are coming from the any object or any source, when it enters in your eye and it goes to your retina and retina to the optic nerve and optic nerve to your brain, something like that, in that manner you can able to see what is in front of you, isn't it, right? So that's the reason why different colors are due to what? Not just because of the different size of the corpuscle, but it is due to a different color is due to different wavelength of a light. So this is for a visible light. You may say that then what about the different kind of light? Other there are different type of lights are also there. Which are those? Like infrared radiations, like X-ray, Okay, then we can say that radio waves, right? Radio waves or radio light we can say, right? But these are not visible to our human eye because the cells which are present in your eye, those are not able to we can say that synthesize this kind of wave. So that's the reason why we can't able to see these. We are only our eyes are only we can say that sensitive to this wave, this kind of colors, not all those, right? So what about this what about this type of light? How they will get differ? They are going to only differ with the help of frequency only, because IR rays, infrared rays, supposed to have different frequency. X-rays are supposed to have a different frequency or wavelength. Radio waves are supposed to have different kind of wavelength or frequency. So we concluded in a second assumption that different color is due to different size of the different type of wavelength or different type of frequency. Now third assumption, we can sense that already I told you, we can sense any color or object due to when light enters in our eye. When light enters in our eye, that time we can able to sense what exactly that object is and what exactly we are watching, or what kind of color of that particular object is. Like this pen is in white and black in color, right? And the ink which is written on this whiteboard which is in black in color. So why we can able to see? Because whatever the rays which is reflected from these particular letters, these are supposed to enter in your eye and you can able to see what exactly written on the board, right? So this is nothing but a third assumption, and same assumption is mentioned by even in a Newton's corpuscle theory and even in a wave theory of light. So that is a common point where both theories are quite right? Okay, next we knew that longitudinal wave is nothing but a mechanical kind of wave. Longitudinal wave. What longitudinal wave is? Longitudinal wave is what kind of wave it is? Mechanical type of wave. Mechanical type of wave. Now you may say that what do you mean by mechanical wave? In the 11th standard we already studied this. But okay, what mechanical wave is? Mechanical waves are such waves. Mechanical waves are such waves, those needs or who needs what they needs? Who needs medium for their propagation. You may say that. What you may say that? There may be the questions, question may rise in your mind that why you are just telling us that longitudinal wave is a mechanical wave. तुम्ही का बरं सांगताय आम्हाला की longitudinal wave is what? Mechanical wave. Now the reason behind it, for a fourth assumption, what fourth assumption is? We are already mentioned over here that mechanical wave or longitudinal wave needs a medium. So we knew that. What we knew that around the earth, apart from the atmosphere च्या व्यतिरिक्त सूर्य, sun and earth, there is nothing kind of medium is there. There is no medium. What it is over there? What exactly it is there? Vacuum is there. So that's the reason why That's the reason why we conclude that the fourth assumption is wrong. So what fourth assumption is and why it is wrong, that let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. The fourth assumption was a material medium is needed. A material medium is needed, or material medium is necessary. For what it is necessary? It is necessary for propagation of light. For propagation of light. So that's the reason why the fourth assumption. Why fourth assumption came? Why fourth assumption come into the existence? Just because of the consideration of the longitudinal wave. लाईटला लॉन्जिट्युडिनल वेव्ह कन्सिडर केलं म्हणून आपल्याला लॉन्जिट्युडिनल वेव्हला कशाची गरज पडते? मीडियमची गरज पडते. म्हणून आता एक खोटं बोलले, आता एक जर खोटी जर गोष्ट केली तर दुसरी खोटी गोष्ट बोलावं लागेल, कारण खोट्याला खोटं काय म्हणतात पण बोलावंच लागतं. पण इथे तसं काय म्हणत तेच झालंय, एक खोटं खरं ठरवण्यासाठी दुसरं खोटं बोलावं लागलं. व्हॉट इज दॅट lie or what is the wrong thing? He considered that a material medium is necessary for the propagation of light. And what kind of the name of that material is, or what is the name of that material? That is nothing but a luminiferous ether. Luminiferous ether. And luminiferous is pervade, it is gets spread in the whole universe. Something like that is proposed by this wave theory of light. So that's the reason why there is, and later on it was discovered that there is no such a medium is present. Why? Because already I told you longitudinal light is not a longitudinal wave. What kind of wave it is? It's a transverse wave, and the light doesn't need any medium to propagate from for a propagation of a propagation through a medium. Let's take an example. You may say that, sir. Right now we can able to see through a glass. There is a glass is present, even we can able to see. And why we can able to see? Because through a glass, say suppose this is a glass, right? Suppose this is a glass, an object is, right now this is not a glass, but you need to consider that if it is a glass, an object is on this side of the glass and you are just another side of the glass, right? So you can able to through this particular glass, like you are just supposed to observe through a window. तुम्ही काय म्हणता पण खिडकीच्या काचेमधून काय बघू शकता बाहेर काय, राईट? किंवा बाहेरचा व्यक्ती बघू शकतो खिडकीच्या आतमध्ये काय. पण आपण कसं ऑब्झर्व करू शकतो? लाईट सपोज टू ट्रॅव्हल फ्रॉम एअर to glass and glass to air, again air to glass and glass to air. So that means both observer can able to see what is inside and what is outside. So, but you may say that, so how light is supposed to propagate in the medium, in any kind of medium, that we'll see in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.